Good morning, folks. Just a quick video today on my next unusual tip for healing well. Unusual tip for healing number 2. Don't scratch. Now, this doesn't mean you can never scratch, obviously, but when you're healing, when you feel things moving within your body, you're going to feel a lot of weird sensations, and some of those sensations manifest like itchiness because things are moving under your skin. So this can feel like bugs crawling, this can feel like a snake moving, like Kundalini says. And one thing that I noticed is a lot of the stuff that I used to attribute to just general irritation or allergies tends to actually be motion within the body. And in general, this motion is good, and you want to allow the motion. So scratching can actually stop the flow of the motion. So for example, my eyes are often itchy right here. And I used to rub real hard and scrub and scrub and scrub into those corners. Don't do that. You want to just allow the sensation to flow and pass. And this is going to be super hard because it's incredibly itchy. So, you're going to succumb at some point to scratching. But try your best to allow the sensation to pass without scratching. And sometimes, you can touch it. Like right now, like this corner of my eye is a little itchy. I touch it, but I don't dig into it. I used to get a lot of really itchy sensations on my scalp back in the day when actually I was probably degenerating and stuff was moving out of place. It would feel incredibly itchy on my scalp to the point where for years I would scratch so hard, scratch and dig and scratch and dig and rip and yank. I used to dig holes in my scalp. There would be big craters where I would dig out. And this is because the itchy sensation is so deep that you can't even really reach it just by a simple touch to your skin, especially when it's a bad itch. It's so deep. Or have you ever felt like on your legs, on your thighs, for example, you're scratching, and then you're scratching, and then you're scratching, and you're getting really hard into those areas, and you're trying to get the itch, and it's so deep that you can't even scratch it. And those are itches that are motion within the body, and that's how it's manifesting in sensation, is as an itch. So my tip today is don't scratch those itches as much as possible. And like I said, you can touch them, like on my leg, a little bit of an itch, light, just touch it, but don't dig into the scratch because you want that area to move through. And when you dig it, as I said, you are impeding that motion. And the same for my nose. Sometimes my nose gets itchy. I used to do a lot of this. A lot of moving my nose around physically. So don't do that. Now I just kind of touch it. So my number 2 tip for healing today, don't scratch. Allow the physical sensations to pass. And the way that you do this is by closing your eyes, relaxing the area, and allowing it to flow through. So if you get a little itch, just touch it. And try to touch it in the area or in the direction of the motion. Try to brush it up towards where it's going. Don't, right here is itchy for me right now. And those are the areas where things are moving and you want them to move. So just lightly brush them Just lightly brush, but don't dig into your skin. Allow your skin to be intact. Try to relax. Try to let the sensations pass as naturally as possible. And this can extend to other behaviors that are similar, that are often attributed to general anxiety disorders and body-focused repetitive behaviors, such as biting the inside of your cheek or your tongue, or picking the skin around your nails. And this goes back to my first tip for healing video, which was to take care of your cuticles and your nails. Because if you take care of them, there's no skin there to bite. And you allow for better motion through the tips of your fingers without having to feel that sensation and feel the urge to get rid of it. So a lot of these behaviors are attributed to mental state. But I believe that a lot of the times your mental state, yes, is contributing to your general feeling of anxiety, but the physical sensations themselves exist. And I think that people are drawn to pick at those hairs, scratch those areas, mess with the insides of their mouths or their tongue, play with the hair on their arm, things like that. Biting the inside of the cheek. A lot of the internal mouth area is directly connected to the inside of your body. It's a muscular tube that goes straight down to your insides. And the same with the scalp. When I was digging into my scalp a lot and making craters, like I said, this could be considered a sign of anxiety and a behavior, a self-damaging behavior. But I wasn't doing it to damage myself. And it's those unconscious moments where you're exhibiting these behaviors that are the ones that I'm referring to. Like if you have hyper-focused behavior on digging out an area, then that could be a mental imbalance issue. But when you're just sitting around and you're watching TV and you're unconsciously playing with a particular area of your body, that is an indicator that that area of your body is experiencing physical stimulation. And that is the motion you want to consciously notice and stop doing, not just because it's damaging your body, but also because it's damaging the motion of your body. It's impeding the natural course of your body to move in those areas. And I think that people who are experiencing a lot of these physical anxiety symptoms are more prone to feeling the physical symptoms and misattributing them mentally, like miscategorizing them mentally as expressions of emotional state, when really it's the physical state that's occurring, and you're impressing upon it an emotional image or definition. So don't scratch, don't pick. do be very gentle with your body and allow the motion within your body to occur, and replace itself and fill those areas with blood and nerves and life without impeding the healing that your body is trying to do for itself.